WTBR-FM, Pittsfield.
Welcome to Ham on WTBR, the all-inclusive ham radio show for hams and non-hams alike. Be part of the show. Contact us on www.facebook.com/HamJamTV. And now the hosts of the show, Peter and Jessica. Ham on.
Are we here?
We're here.
We are here. Welcome to...
I think we are here.
Good morning. Live from the Live from the WTBR studios in Pittsfield. It's Ham On once again. It must be Wednesday.
It must be. Or our clocks are wrong and it's Tuesday.
Our clocks are wrong and it's Tuesday. And we shouldn't be here and we shouldn't be on the air. So before we get started with the actual ham radio show...
Yes.
Let's have a little talk about what happened on Monday night.
Let's, shall we?
All right, for all these months, we've been using a very jerry-rigged system to produce our Beatles show live. And I'm sure as everybody who's heard the show or heard on podcasts heard the clicks. And as of late, if you don't push the right buttons, you get a little bit of feedback that I didn't like going out over the air.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do is hear, all you need is...
So, me being me...
Not really good.
Got a professional audio board and a microphone.
You being you.
To do the show. And the problem lied that we tested it with our streaming service, our streaming software on Sunday night and all day Monday.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
Not a problem at all.
Until we went on the air. And when we went live, because there's a virtual audio cable that went between the computer so that the streaming software...
2020 is the monument to Murphy's Law. Anything that can happen will
happen. And, well, the streaming system we had to put that audio cable, that virtual audio cable in so that the computer could see the board and be able to do the streaming. Well, something between here and the streaming and my house and the audio cable didn't like what was going on, and it literally shut the entire thing down. Sean is texting me going, "We're dead air." And I'm looking at...
it was like Gandalf in The Lord of the Rings, you shall not pass.
I'm looking at the computer, and we're still streaming as far as what we were doing. So we ended up going to automation while I sat home and rebooted the entire system. And when the system...
Having a small corner in Mom's kitchen.
Small corner. I had to take the virtual audio cable out, took the board offline, put our original system back in play, but then because of what the settings on the board, because the board has an amplifier on it, so the settings had to go way back in the other direction, trying to get the rest of the show done, and then losing the playlist on the software because that cable just messed up the entire system.
Yeah, good thing we had most of the songs written down.
Well, it wasn't part of written down. It was part of, I had to again reboot the machine.
Oh yeah, because you couldn't find any music at all.
To get my DJ software to actually put the songs back into the playlists.
Yeah, because you didn't have any songs on there at all, anywhere.
So after we got what was left of our show done. And we went off the air. I put the entire system step by step, part by part, back online, and came up with this.
Yeah, for the next 4 hours that night.
The problem lied in the fact that the virtual audio cable that was there for our streaming software that we use to stream to the station to find the board.
Oh, the butt system.
The butt system. It found the board, but then once you go live, something breaks down and that audio cable doesn't like what's happening. and it shuts everything down.
All I can think of is maybe the audio cable gets overdriven
Without the audio cable,
with the amplifier, maybe.
without the virtual audio cable in play,
You can't transmit squat.
the butt system can't see my board, which means we can't stream live for the time being.
Like I said, translation, you can't transmit squat.
So I have Audio City software in play, and we actually did the Beatles show and put it up on podcast because it works fine that way. It was a little low on volume, and that was my error because I didn't kick up a couple of settings in the Audio City software.
Nah.
But the show actually sounded good. I mean, we could do some talkovers, and there was no clicks, there was no buzzes, there was no feedback off of it.
No screeching.
No screeching. So the system works. So until we can find a streaming software that works at both ends, at the end here at the station and at the end at my house, because my mix software, we tried that in the beginning, and the mix software, which you can use for streaming, somehow wouldn't connect here. So until we can find something that my board can read as far as streaming into here, we are just going to record the Beatles shows and send them in to Matt, and Matt can get them up on our time spot. So that's how that works.
Yeah, or else we're gonna crash again.
Well, we can't stream because the butt system drop-down menu is not showing the board that Audio City's showing. And even if I reset it and take Audio City out, and it still won't see the board without that cable, without that virtual cable. But with that virtual cable in, it crashes everything out, and we go straight to dead air. And that's what I want. So one messed up show out of 50, 60, 70 we've done. We'll go back to recording it.
Like I said, 2020 is the monument of Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong.
But the upside is it will be a better sounding.
Think about it.
It will be a better sounding show now that I've got professional equipment in there. I mean, these aren't dollar store audio boards. These are professional pile boards.
I didn't know you could get an audio board at the dollar store.
You know, they're a bit pricey, but it seemed to work really well. I mean, we were as good as it got when we were able to just up talk right over beginnings and endings of songs, and not have to turn off the mic, switch over to a speaker system to hear everything else going on.
Or turn off the speaker, or turn off the speakers for a second. In order to talk.
Have those very milliseconds worth of dead air in there. We were able to actually do a nice show. So with that being said, if you go up on the WTBR podcast, even though the volume is a little bit lower than I would like it, I fixed that yesterday after
the volume's not so good.
Yeah, you have to crank up your radio to hear it. But
sorry.
Next week's show, the December 7th show, the John Lennon tribute, will be back to speed, and we are going to pre-record it, and send it up to Matt to
program is pre-recorded. Well, yeah, you're gonna record it. When the hell else are you gonna record it afterwards?
So, until we can get another piece of streaming.
Sorry, a little bit of Carlin slipped out there.
Another piece of streaming software in play that will work at both ends of this, at this end of the station and in my end at home. So it's okay. The Beatles show started with recording sessions. We can go back to that, but it just sounds. I listened to most of it last night. It sounds so much better than we've done in the past months with the professional recording. I guess I can lose a live stream. The live stream was pretty much because we were already live streaming this show.
Yeah.
During COVID-19 when we were home for 8 months, so. My brilliant thought was, we're streaming one show, we might as well stream the other show. So we're back in the studio for this show, and we can just pre-record the other show. It does,
we're gonna have to
save a lot of time and difficulties.
We're gonna have to because that wire does not like.
Yeah,
that.
and I won't have to make adjustments live on the air. I mean, I was making adjustments on the fly as we were doing the show and trying to load the music in and get.
Dude, I was there.
And get level set and texting Sean and seeing what was going on. And
dude, I was there. I saw the behind the scenes. You were, like I said, having a coronary.
We should put a camera. We should put a camera in the booth over in the studio over at home. And this is behind the scenes on the Beatles show because you're
That'd
already seeing
comedy. What the heck?
Because you're already seeing
about?
behind the scenes here on the Ham On show because of the simulcast on PCTV, so you know what goes on in the studio. You should see what goes on at the house.
No.
That'd be a separate show in and of itself. So. With
that's a reality show that will make you sit there and go, what the heck did I just watch?
That'd be something MTV would play.
That's not even MTV would look at that and go, yeah, no.
That's something
that's too messed up even for us.
That's something we could put out on PCTV, but not on WTBR because
that's stuff that you can't even put on cable. What the heck are you talking about?
Put on pay-per-view. So December 7th we'll have the John Lennon show. It'll be pre-recorded. Or recorded, or after recorded, however you want to say it. And,
of course.
And brought up
like I said, when the hell else are you going to record it? Afterwards?
And then after that, we'll get back on the track where we do the show over the weekend. Once we listen to this, we'll get back to where we can do the shows and then bring them on the flash drive and give them to Matt while we're doing this show. He can get that show set into programming. So for those listening in the back, Sean Sear and Matthew Tucker and Bob Heck, we're going to record the Beatles show at home till we find a decent set of streaming software that my board likes and that the station likes. And once we get a happy medium, we will go back to live on the Beatles show.
The board is being a little jerk face.
The board's doing fine.
The cable's being a jerk face.
It was the audio the virtual
audio cable being
the virtual cable that 5 videos told me had to go in between the two, so it could see it, and it did see it. It just didn't like what it saw when we actually turned the server on. It didn't really, when we turned the live stream on, it really didn't like what was going on, and within 5 minutes of on the air, we were off the air. And that's even a worse thing.
Yeah.
So we're gonna fix that. Anyway, you have news, and then after the break we have space weather. So go do your news.
Let me see. Opportunity to participate in eclipse propagation experiment. Ham. SCI is looking for amateur radio operators to help with a global campaign to observe the ionosphere's effects of the December 14th eclipse across South America. Data collection requires an HF radio connected to the computer, so they're doing digital. I'm guessing that would be digital.
It's pretty much the only way you can measure it is through digital means. Yeah, can't measure it through voice means.
I'm just saying. I'm guessing it would be digital.
Yes, it would be digital.
Okay.
Everything that requires a computer hooked up to your radio is digital.
All right. Thank you. I am the non-ham person. Of course,
you've been doing it. Wait. You've been doing this show how long?
Yes, I've been doing this show
going
for
on 2 years
now.
This is year number 2.
I didn't know you could hook it up to the computer.
That was like show number 3. Go back and watch show number 3.
I know how they work. I just don't know how they're set up. Okay.
Just like our audio board hooked up to the computer. Remember when I was doing FT8 in Albany. I had the little signaling.
Kind of fuzzy.
Had the little signaling box that went between my computer and.
Is that the thing that screeched every 10 seconds?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That was it. Go on.
To participate, tune your most stable RF receiver to a 10 megahertz time standard station. Tune down 1 kilohertz so you can hear that station's carrier and follow instructions on the ham SCI website to make a recording of the signals you hear. Record and upload as much as you can. The week of December 9th through the 16th, researchers will use your data to make a complete picture of the ionosphere during the space weather event. Instructions are available in Spanish, English, Spanish, and Portuguese. There will be a 24-hour practice run on December 5th. The ham radio science citizen investigation is a collective of geospace scientists and ham radio operators dedicated to the advancement of science through amateur radio.
Yeah, that's like was a few months ago. I might bring that back up, where this guy built a Geiger counter or a Richter scale, something, or he was able through amateur radio to pretty much tell you when an earthquake was going to happen.
Yeah, it was the Richter scale because it the earthquakes affected certain bands and made the interference in certain bands be right before they happened.
Which goes back to what we said 2 or 3 weeks ago, that this hobby has a lot of science, technology, engineering and math involved.
It's always the engineering part where you look at me like a freaking cross-eyed.
Look at you like you got the answer to this. But here's the things that you can do.
Every time we get to the engineering part, you look at me like I'm cross-eyed or something. You just
this is what makes amateur radio so exciting, because you can build these little things like this guy that built a way to predict earthquakes just by listening to how the airwaves sound pre-earthquake and during the earthquake. And I think he tested this for like a few years. What you just brought up, where we're going to measure the solar eclipse to see measuring
the
ionosphere to see
the effects of the solar eclipse on the ionosphere,
which will help in propagation. We're going to have the Space Weather Woman on, at least as far as the YouTube, but we don't do the video, so you'll hear her, and she's going to give us an update on what's going on in space weather, which is a lot, finally.
You mean you actually have stuff this time in space weather, and you guys actually have little sunspots and stuff?
Well, you find out. We're going to go to the break, and then when we come back from the break, we will find out about space weather.
You're listening to Ham On WTBR.
WTBR. We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams.
Hi, this is Sergeant Mark Madalena with the Pittsfield Police Department. We all have busy lives, and we're in a hurry to get to where we need to be. While driving, people are eating, drinking, talking, putting on makeup, doing their hair, checking social media, texting each other, all while the dog sits on their lap. The result is running red lights, stop signs, speeding, and finally crashing. Distracted driving is illegal. You can be ticketed or criminally charged. Please share the road and pay attention. Let's make sure everyone gets where they want to go safely. This message is brought to you by the Pittsfield Police Department in cooperation with WTBR FM.
This is Alice Cooper for RADD. There's a lot of things we have no control of in this world, but that's not the case with drunk driving. If you're going to drink, don't drive. Think ahead and choose a designated driver. Remember, music lives on, and so should you.
Yes, we all got a long way to go. public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
This is the Goodwill Industries of the Berkshires and Southern Vermont. Our mission is to help our community members with barriers to employment attain independence and self-sufficiency, gain confidence, and enhance quality of life, all through vocational, educational work, training, and support services. You can contact Goodwill at 413-442-0061 or go to our website at www.goodwill-berkshires.com.
Hi, this is Sean Sayre, Executive Director of PCTV. When Taconic High School was demolished, we could have lost this radio station. Instead, PCTV stepped in, built a new studio and transmitter, and gave the station new life. And now it's time to pay that back. Support this station today. Go to WTBRFM.com and click the donate button. You won't be sorry. Pittsfield Community Radio thanks you for your support.
Berkshire weather. WTBR radar weather for the Pittsfield area. Today, mostly cloudy with a chance of snow or rain showers. Much cooler with highs in the upper 30s. Temperature falling into the lower 30s this afternoon. Southwest wind 10 to 15 miles per hour with gusts up to 25 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation 50%. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a chance of snow showers in the evening. Then partly cloudy after midnight. Cold. Near steady temperature around 30. West wind 10 to 15 miles per hour with gusts up to 30 miles per hour. Chance of snow 30%. Thursday, sunny. Highs in the mid-40s. West wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Weather forecasts for WTBR-FM are provided by the National Weather Service.
Is it possible the two Utes...
Two what?
What?
Did you say Utes?
Yeah, two Utes.
What is a Ute?
WTBR.
And we are back on Ham On.
And we are back.
That's the one thing I missed doing the show from home for 8 months is the weather jingle. Somehow we couldn't.
Really?
We couldn't get it going on the machine.
You missed the weather jingle.
I miss doing the weather jingle. I like the little weather thing on the cart.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Got do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Really?
Yeah, and we don't. I don't know whoever developed that. We never got it. We got it, but it was only for that day. That was that we actually put the PSAs in when we were doing the show. But it would have been nice to have that at the house for 8 months and just do the weather jingle during the shows. I miss doing that stuff. I'm a techie. I miss playing with stuff like that.
Of course you do.
That's
why you go. That's why you want that. That's why you want that Baby Yoda for Christmas, because you want to push every little button on him.
Don't
figure out what he does.
No, because I'll take the rest of the show. Don't get me started. When FedEx takes 4 days to go from Long Island, New York to Rensselaer, New York,
Queens, New York,
or from Queens, New York to Rensselaer, New York.
To drop it off and
because this is a weird thing for everybody who doesn't know. If you're getting anything from FedEx,
you're getting it from
even though there's a FedEx thing here across the street, there's a FedEx thing up by my house. It's all outgoing. You're getting your FedEx deliveries from Rensselaer, so the package has to go to Rensselaer, New York. They put it on the truck and drive it for an hour here into Pittsfield with 2 FedEx facilities here. Okay.
Yeah, because we asked him about that because it was, what was it? This DVD Rise of Skywalker.
Well, yeah.
You're waiting for it to deliver, and you're waiting for them to deliver, and you told them, well, we have FedExes here. Oh, those are outgoing, sir. And you're like,
there's
really?
2 of them. There's one here on Federico Drive.
And there's one by Wacona.
There's one up by Wacona. They're both FedEx. So,
and they're both outgoing.
And then my point is, I got Baby Yoda coming in from Los Angeles, 3,000 miles away.
Oh, I know.
That will be here on the 4th.
Yep. May the 4th be with you.
And,
sorry. Had to joke.
This, what we have coming in that was supposed to be here today is coming tomorrow. Because it takes 4 days to drive to run this package 175 miles.
What do you expect? It's FedEx.
Anyway, we're going to go and do space weather.
But that's beside the point.
So we got 10 minutes to skull off. We do the YouTube. We don't have the video, so just like we did at home, you got to kind of just follow it, and everybody that's been following is pretty much following. But she gives good what's going on with the weather. So
she's very descriptive of the weather when she talks
and
about
we're really
it.
halfway through the show. We haven't got anything done.
Yeah.
We're halfway through the show and have done nothing so far.
Hey, we have to talk about this.
One piece of news, and that was it.
All right.
We gotta get another hour worth of show. All right, so here's let's get back to ham radio. Here's space weather. You're listening to Ham on WTBR FM.
And our sun is getting busy. As we take a look at the front side disk, look at all the bright regions. There's so many I can hardly keep track of them. We have 2783 in the south, 2784 in the north, and we have region 2785 and 86 just beginning to rotate into Earth view off of the sun's east limb. Back on the 22nd, we had multiple solar storms. Neither of them were Earth-directed, but one came from region 2783 and a northern filament eruption that came off near region 2784 in the north. Both of those went east of us, so we didn't really have any issues with those. But then on the 24th, wham! Look at that monster that launched off of region 2785 and 86, that whole region in there. That one is also not Earth-directed, but it's a bit larger. And I tell you, all of these bright regions have now boosted the solar flux up past 100, which means we can actually say radio propagation on Earth's day side is in the good range. Oh my gosh, when was the last time I was actually able to say that? So we are back in the green when it comes to radio propagation, and it looks like some of the regions on the sun's far side are going to keep it really close to that range. So we're going to be good news here. We also have aurora photographers had this coronal hole that gave us some fast solar wind just over the past couple days, and that brought us up to storm levels, and we got some decent aurora, especially at high latitudes and even a skosh down to mid latitudes. So we are definitely keeping busy with all of these regions. It's hard to know where to look anymore. And this is just the front side sun. As we take a look at our far-sided sun, this is stereo A, and we're looking at the sun pretty much from the side. You can see regions 2783 and 2784 as they rotate off of the sun's west limb in stereo's view. You see regions 2785 and 86 basically in the middle of stereo's view. Look how massive that cluster is, and they have been firing off solar storms like crazy. Now, that's not all it though. Take a look past them. We've got two more regions, both in the north and in the south. One of them, maybe both of them, will get new designations here over the next few days as they rotate into view. But that's not all. Take a look past it. In the south, on the sun's west limb or east limb, you can't even see this eruption yet, but take a look. Whammo! Right there. Blam! Did you see that? That is a massive solar storm launch from a region we can't even see yet. And in coronagraphs, this region, look at it. Ready? Bam! Right there. Look how massive that big solar storm is launching on the sun's far side. So this region we're going to be very excited about because it's launching very strong solar storms. And not only may it be a solar storm producer, but it also may be the first M-flare player we've seen in quite some time. Switching to our coronagraph view, now this is the LASCO coronagraph on the SOHO spacecraft that's just sunward of Earth, and that means that this view is from the Earth's perspective. And as we take a look at just on the 24th, there were several solar storms being launched. We look at the gray image, that is the difference image that accentuates features as opposed to just the regular image that's here in red. You can see that solar storm at the beginning of the 24th being launched to the south. That was from region 2785 and region 2786. That storm is going to miss Earth to the east, so we don't have to worry about that. But just a few hours later, wham! Look at that massive storm being launched. It creates a ring all the way around the sun. That is called a full halo. And we haven't seen a full halo eruption since something like 2017, so it's been quite a few years. And what this means is that these big solar storms are now being launched with ferocity. And that's something we haven't seen in quite some time. This is why I'm calling it a paradigm shift. But don't worry, this particular solar storm is not Earth-directed. It's actually launched to the sun's far side. But once that that region rotates into view, we're definitely going to keep an eye on it. And as it rotates into Earth view, which will be in about a week, it could be an M flare player. So amateur radio operators and emergency responders and GPS users, you may be in store for radio blackouts pretty soon. Switching to our moon, we are now passing through the first quarter phase on our way to a full moon, with a full moon being on the 30th. So you night sky watchers, if you want to catch those dim objects in the sky, you're going to have this bright companion to deal with, so you better check your local rise and set times. Switching to your solar storm conditions and aurora possibilities over the coming week, although we do have quite a few solar storms being launched from the sun right now, none of them are Earth directed. However, we have been having a coronal hole rotate in through the Earth strike zone over the past couple days, and it's still continuing to do so. This is that northern polar coronal hole, and at high latitudes, it's actually been giving us some decent aurora show. In fact, it's bumped us up to G1 storm levels just a few days ago, and we're still beginning to kind of calm down from that. So our Earth's field is very rattled and could easily pop back up to solar storm levels here very quickly. So at high latitudes, NOAA's expecting us to have active conditions, but we have up to about a 40% chance of a major storm. Now, mid-latitudes, we're only expecting unsettled conditions, but as you can see, we have up to about a 25% chance of active conditions at mid-latitudes, and this should last easily in through the beginning of the weekend, and things should then easily calm down. However, we do have region 27, 85, and 86 that are rotating in through the Earth strike zone here over the next couple days, and if they happen to launch a solar storm, all of this could change in a heartbeat. Switching to your solar flare and particle radiation storm outlook over the coming week, believe it or not everything is in the green this week. When was the last time I was able to say that, huh? We have multiple regions on the Earth-facing disk, along with some defunct regions, and then we even have more regions that are going to be rotating into view over the next couple days, and all of that put together means that our M flare risk is finite this week. We're up to about a 10 to a 15% chance of M-class flares, and that does mean that we have a risk for radio blackouts. So you GPS users, be very careful on Earth's day side, especially near the dawn dusk terminators. You could have some intermittent issues just from potential of radio blackouts. Now, granted, amateur radio operators and emergency responders, that's bad news, but I think you'll take the trade-off. I'm sure you're hearing the noise on the bands right now, but have you checked this out? Look at the solar flux. This is due to those regions on Earth's day side. Oh my gosh, we are back into the green and triple digits for solar flux. That means radio propagation should be the best that you've heard it in, I don't know, maybe at least 3 years, I would think. And this should easily continue because we have more regions on the sun's far side that will rotate into view here over the next couple weeks. However, we do have that M flare risk that's probably going to go up, especially when that new region that fired that big halo solar storm, when that one rotates into view, it could be a real M flare player. So just hang on to your seat because it looks like the sun is really going to start taking us for a ride. Now, also because we are still climbing at a solar minimum, believe it or not, we still have a higher cosmic ray flux than we'd like to have. So you frequent flyers, and this does include aircrew who fly over 800 hours annually and fly at high latitudes and high altitudes, you are still in the moderate range for radiation dose, and this does include prenatal passengers, so please take this into consideration in your flight plans. So the space weather this week is going through a paradigm shift. We have so many bright regions on the Earth-facing disk, and they're all firing off a bunch of solar storms. And we also have new regions that are going to be rotating into view here over the next week, and they're firing solar storms. So aurora photographers, hey, we've got a fast solar wind that's kind of going through the Earth strike zone right now, and at high latitudes, you're still going to get a chance for aurora over the next couple days before things calm down. And then if we get region 27, 85, and 86 to rotate through the Earth strike zone and launch a solar storm, hey, we could have yet another chance for aurora, so keep your fingers crossed. Now, amateur radio operators and emergency responders, well, you know, we have that non-zero M flare risk now. That means we've got radio blackouts are a possibility, and I'm sure you're hearing all of the sizzle on the bands from all of these bright regions, but hey, I'm sure you'll take it, right? Because solar flux is back up into triple digits. We're sitting at 100 for solar flux and in the good range for radio propagation on Earth's day side. So rejoice, 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 because it looks like it's going to continue to stay that way easily over the course of this week and possibly through next week as well. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed for you. Now, the only people who probably aren't liking things quite so well are GPS users. Now, GPS users, you guys are having to deal with the possibility of radio blackouts. That could give you some issues easily on Earth's day side. So especially near the dawn dusk terminator, be very careful. You could have intermittent signal fades. But also, I'm sure with all the solar flux rising, you're not really liking it down near low latitudes. That could actually affect you a little bit as well and kind of make GPS degrade just a skosh. So you're going to have to deal with that. And of course, anytime you're near aurora, you could also have issues. So be sure to stay away from aurora as well. I'm Tamara the Scove, the Space Weather Woman. Thank you for watching.
And over to you. Can you improve on that?
I don't know. Maybe I can. Maybe I can't. And it's just amazing that you guys are actually getting sunspots. And,
yeah, so we go.
And activity.
It's kind of like the weather in Berkshire County, right? It goes from 90 to 40. So now we're going from no sunspots to radio blackout.
Well, now that escalated quickly. Dayton. The Dayton Hamfest announces its 2021 and theme The Gathering. The Gathering will be the theme for the 2021 Dayton Hamfest. Dayton Hamfest Hamvention. General Chair Rick Allnut, Bisky Sierra 8 Golf, said the theme reflects what has been missing from our lives most of this year. We have spent the last 6 months being bound to our houses and in small groups. We are very optimistic that when May arrives, we will be allowed to gather together. Ona, being a medical doctor with a master's degree in public health, believes that by May, the government restrictions on travel in large groups will be relaxed, hopefully. And he hopes that they'll be able to get together for a hamvention, which will take place May 21st or the 23rd at the Greene County Fairgrounds and Expo Center in Athena, Ohio.
So they're planning on a in-person hamvention like we used to have.
Yes.
That would be nice. Get some in-person stuff going again.
They're hoping by May. That
this will be behind us.
Yeah. That this will be behind us. It'll be done. And we'll be able to, again, get together in large groups. I'll give him some credit. I mean, he is a medical doctor, so I kind of...
Well, you heard... We watched the news, was it last week, when some medical doctor... And it wasn't, a White House doctor or somebody that Trump's paying or whatever, or Fauci or whoever it is. This was just a regular doctor. He said, by the summer, keep your fingers crossed, by the summer of 2021, the virus will be behind us.
Yeah, May would put us at the unofficial start of summer, so yeah.
So now we have we have 2 doctors confirming through 2 different outlets that by May
it should slow down.
This virus should be behind us. We should be able to get back to what we considered normal, which we're pretty normal here. I mean, there's a couple of little things.
What is this normal you speak of? I was never normal to start with.
Well, it's kind of normal here except for this. I mean, otherwise,
I was never normal to start with. Where are you getting at normal? You mean physically outside normal? Yeah, that's normal. Mentally, no, not
with
so much.
Me and you in the studio, we can't have physical guests in the studio, but that's cool. Any
all
guests
right.
we get, they can call in. It saves me a lot of problems. But just to be back here, and in the midst of the WTBR studios here is a big up for us from doing this show for 8 months at home. So. This is kind of back to our normal.
Yes.
We can
we
can do the little social distancing thing and the masks on. We have all our hand sanitizers and wipes and stuff. So, what?
I mean, when you're actually at home and you're thinking, okay, the cat, the parakeet, and the rabbit and the goldfish would make excellent guests because you're losing your mind because you're stuck at home.
We were going to put the parakeet on the radio as a guest. All right, anyway.
What do you mean you would never put the parakeet on the radio as a guest?
We got 20 minutes left in the show. We've done nothing. So, Skywarn Recognition Day.
Oh, come on. We can't be serious all the time. We got to have some fun.
This is from Rob McCado, KD1CY, who's been on the show like a year ago. Maybe we got to get him back when all is calm. He's the meteorologist who runs Skywarn, who's an amateur radio operator out of Boston. Norton.
Yes.
For the National Weather Service. Skywarn Recognition Day.
Leave me alone. I was having a brain fart for a second.
Skywarn Recognition Day 2020. I'm going to turn your mic off. Will occur this year, but modified due to COVID-19 and the fact NWS offices are not allowed to have volunteer amateur radio operators at any NWS office due to COVID. In addition, a social media component will be added to engage non-amateur radio Skywarn spotters. So this is for everybody listening, whether you're an amateur radio operator or you're not an amateur radio operator. This is the event for you.
This is the event for you.
More than 2020's SRD. This initial announcement gives information on 2020 SRD and the plan for future updates. Due to COVID-19, typical WX1 BOX amateur radio operations
COVID-19
will not occur at the NWS Boston Norton. The WX
it seems to be the answer for everything due to COVID-19.
The WX1 BOX amateur radio team will be operating remotely via their home stations. In addition, the Boston Amateur Radio Club has canceled their operations from Blue Hill for 2020. The NWS Gray Main office cannot be active at the office due to some restrictions on volunteers at NWS offices nationwide. But will likely.
I have a question. Is that how you start conversations in 2021? Due to COVID-19. This is what happened, and why we were no longer friends for 6 months. Due to COVID-19, this is why I'm going on a diet.
But we'll likely have some form of SRD operation for 2020. For WX1 BOX amateur radio operations, we will cover the typical Skywarn repeaters on VHF, UHF, as well as simplex and be on HF via the various remote home stations, along with our WX1 BOX social media pages. In addition, contacts with the other amateur radio Skywarn stations will count towards NWS certificates. Further, there will be a social media component to engage non-amateur radio and amateur radio Skywarn spotter alike. The current set of information is available, and additionally, information will be made available on the Skywarn Recognition Day via the website via the following link: www.weather.gov/CRH/Skywarn Recognition. So there you go.
There we go.
Skywarn Recognition Day.
Yay!
Yay.
But it's true. That seems to be the excuse for everything due to COVID-19. Really? I'm waiting for the day Mom uses the excuse, due to COVID-19, the laundry will be late.
Due to COVID-19.
Due to COVID-19, you're making your own dinner.
Well, as more doctors are coming out and saying that we might be out of this, and we probably will be out of this by the summer, we will survive.
Sorry. tongue popped in my head. What?
You've got this station, The Pastime, and all the good shows and the great programming that's on this station. You have our Beatles show when it's not messed up, technically, on that you can listen to, but you can always pick it up on podcast.
Oh my God! It was bad to the point where you got me to do the ugly snort laughing on.
All right, we're gonna go to the break. We'll be back. We'll be back right after the break.
Yeah, listen to him on WTVR.
WTVR. Don't be too proud of this technological terror you've constructed.
Have you ever dreamed of being a radio DJ, spinning your favorite vinyl, CDs, and MP3s? Have you ever wanted to share conversations with interesting guests with the community? Then the WTBR FM Programming Committee wants to hear from you. We are now accepting proposals for new programs. For more information, visit WTBRFM.com or call 445-4234. Pittsfield Community Radio, for the love of radio.
Before you put me, man's best friend, on a plane, remember these rules. 1, get a health certificate from my vet. I hate to travel if I'm not up to it. 2, try to get a direct flight. I hate changing planes. 3, water me before we board. I hate being thirsty. 4, walk me before and after. I hate to hold it. And 5, take me to Miami. I love the beach.
A message from the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service.
Elder Services of Berkshire County has been providing our elderly neighbors with the care and support needed to live independently since 1974. Through the years, we have had the honor of promoting senior independence by delivering a wide range of services with the expertise, compassion, and quality Berkshire County elders deserve. Your care in your home is our mission. Our biggest impact is in facilitating your care. Whether you need just a few hours of help around the home with meal preparation, cleaning or laundry, a drive to a doctor's appointment, or assistance with grocery shopping, we design every care plan to ensure that you receive individual attention from our professional case managers. We are here to provide you with the security of knowing your needs will be met. Let us help you. Call our Information and Referral Department at 413-499-0524 for a free home assessment. Elder Services, 877 South Street, Pittsfield. Your home, your care, your neighbors. Berkshire County's Area Agency on Aging.
WTBR-FM is listener-supported radio. That means we depend on your donations to keep the station on the air. All the local content and the music you love requires your support. You can make your donation today at WTBRFM.com by calling 445-4234 or stopping by our studio at 4 Federico Drive in Pittsfield. You'd be glad you did. Pittsfield Community Radio, for the love of radio.
Berkshire weather.
WTBR radar weather for the Pittsfield area. Today, mostly cloudy with a chance of snow or rain showers. Much cooler with highs in the upper 30s. Temperature falling into the lower 30s this afternoon. Southwest wind 10 to 15 miles per hour with gusts up to 25 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation 50%. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a chance of snow showers in the evening. Then partly cloudy after midnight. Cold. Near steady temperature around 30. West wind 10 to 15 miles per hour with gusts up to 30 miles per hour. Chance of snow 30%. Thursday, sunny. Highs in the mid-40s. West wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Weather forecasts for WTBR-FM are provided by the National Weather Service.
Radio for people who used to love radio. Welcome back. WTBR.
This is why we put the logo up during the break. We're back here on WTVR FM, which what people didn't see on PCTV is because we put the logo up during the breaks. She's playing with a paper clip over here.
I'm not playing with a paper clip.
She was playing with the paper clip all during our break.
What? Like I said, you're lucky I don't put Google Eyes on it and make it go ahead and ask you if you need help setting up Microsoft.
This is why we put the logo up during the break, so you can play with stuff in the studio.
You don't remember Clippy go ahead and asking you if you wanted to go ahead and set up Microsoft Word and stuff?
But you don't have Google Eyes on it.
I can get the Google Eyes. Mom has Google Eyes.
Next week we're going to bring the paperclip back into the studio with Google eyes.
No, me, I probably would.
This is why we put logos up during the breaks, by the way.
Leave me alone. Stop playing with the freaking paperclip.
She's playing with the paperclip.
I found
She
it.
got
It's
nothing.
mine.
Got nothing better over to do. She playing with paper clips. She's got a whole side of the desk over there. She could be doing stuff.
I can make my HT dance.
You've done that before too. All right.
What?
This is coming from the Federal Communications Commission, November
What does the
30th,
FCC want this time?
2020. Federal Communications Commission Chairman Ajit Pai announced that he intends to leave the Federal Communications Commission on January 20th, 2021. Chairman Pai issued the following statement. It has been the honor of a lifetime to serve at the Federal Communications Commission, including as chairman of the FCC. Done now? Over the past 4 years, I am grateful to President Trump for giving me the opportunity to lead the agency in 2017, to President Obama for appointing me as the commissioner in 2012, and to Senate Majority Leader McConnell and the Senate for twice confirming me to be the first Asian American to chair the FCC has been a particular privilege. As I often say, only in America. I also deeply appreciate the chance to have worked alongside the FCC's talented staff. They are the agency's best assets, and they have performed heroically, especially during the pandemic. It's also been an honor to work with my fellow commissioners to execute a strong and broad agenda. Together, we've delivered for the American people over the past 4 years, closing the digital divide, promoting innovation and competition, from 5G on the ground to broadband, from space, protecting consumers and advancing public safety. And the FCC has not shied away from making tough choices. As a result, our nation's communications networks are now faster, stronger, and more widely deployed than ever before. I am proud of how productive this commission has been, from commencing 5 spectrum auctions and 2 rural broadband reverse auctions in 4 years to opening 1,245 megahertz of mid-band spectrum for unlicensed use, to adopting more than 25 orders through our modernization of media regulation initiative, to aggressively protecting our communications networks from national security threats at home and abroad, to designating 988 as the 988 as the 3-digit number for the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, and much, much more. I'm also proud of the reforms we have instituted to where am I? I'm lost. I'm also proud of the reforms we have instituted to make the agency more accountable to the American people. In particular, for the first time ever, we've made public drafts of the proposals and orders slated for a vote 3 weeks before the agency's monthly meetings, making this the most transparent FCC in history. Last but not least, I want to thank my family for all they have done to enable me to serve at the agency. The public service of one generally results from the public sacrifice of many, and I'm grateful for their love and support. So, with him leaving, hopefully that will do something about this proposal that everybody's talking about with the $50 that the FCC wants to charge to do just about anything. Upgrade your license, get a license, get a vanity call. You want?
I'm surprised they don't charge you guys for talking in the air.
Well,
give them time; they probably will.
They kind of do. $15 to take the test.
No, I mean every time you guys key up, that's $50. Up, that's $20.
You see how
they probably would.
You see how fast nobody keys up on the air.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard enough now to get somebody to key up on the air if it's not a contest.
Oh, I know. If you yell out CQ contest,
somebody emailed me the other day.
Come out of the woodwork.
Somebody emailed me the other day wanting to know about what's up with the Greylock machine. It's a fusion repeater, which means you have a digital side and you have a analog side that's sitting up on the top of the summit up Mount Greylock at some 3,500 feet in the air.
1,000, yes.
No,
3,500.
35,000 feet in the air, and airplanes would be hitting it.
Ah, you're funny. I'm having a day. Leave me alone.
He emailed me about it, and yes, any analog radio will talk on it. But if you
I'm having a brain fart day, so
but
shush.
you need a fusion radio to talk on the digital side of Mount Greylock,
Yeah.
which really nobody does anymore. The club got this fusion repeater 3 or 4 years ago because it was supposed to be all the rage.
Yeah, fusion, digital,
It was
mode and
the
fusion.
next fad.
The digital part of the radio was supposed to kill the freaking non-digital.
The repeaters were steel. They were only a couple $100 for the repeaters. So they put the fusion machine up on Greylock.
Yeah, it was Fusion, D-Star, or V-Star, and something else that was supposed to kill it.
Well, yeah, they put the fusion machine up on Greylock because they expected everybody to get digital radios.
Yeah.
It turned out 7 people bought digital radios. I was one of those 7 people.
Oh, yeah.
And now nobody uses the digital side of the repeaters.
No.
It was supposed to be all the rage, and nobody uses the digital sides. But everybody's going, and if you want to know where people are going, and I hate to say this to all the old timers and all the people that doesn't like what I'm about to say. So if you don't like what I'm about, if you don't like what I'm about to say, don't email the station. Email me, kd2jkv@gmail.com. Everybody that I've talked to, well, not everybody, but a lot of people I've talked to are gone on DMR. Because on DMR, you don't have to upgrade. You can get on with your technician license. I've talked to technicians, I've talked to generals, and I've talked to extras. Everybody's on DMR. And everybody's complaining about DMR and why the repeaters are so dead, especially the Greylock machine, why it's so dead. That's why everybody's on DMR. That's where we're headed. And people have to catch up to that.
Oh, yeah.
The ARRL, the FCC, all the older hams. Digital is the way of the world. If we're going to get new people into this, it's time to go digital. By the way, we have because we're kind of like running out of time. We have a ham radio exam virtually on December 12th, which is full.
Yep.
And I've got
Which is awesome.
a bunch of VEs from across the nation that have done these before that are going to actually help me do this so we do it right. But there's going to be another test, possibly. I've got one candidate so far in our overflow, as I call it.
We have an overflow.
On January 15th. I don't have the schedule in front of me, but January 15th, there's still a few spots open for that. If you want to get in on that, it's just email me at Kilo Delta 2
anybody
Juliet Kilo
take
Victor
tests?
KD2JKV@gmail.com.
Yep. Anybody looking to take the test? There you go.
And anybody who's wanting to take the test, anybody who's been listening to the show for almost 2 years and is ready to take the test, I know we've got one ham in the back who at some point will upgrade. We won't name any names, but
Let's not
his
go there.
his initials are DW. So hopefully he'll upgrade at some point. And for those of you who want to take the
His
test,
name is Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing Duck.
I'm
That's
sorry.
it. Darkwing is his name.
Darkwing
yes.
Duck. Really?
All right, we've got 2 minutes.
Sorry. Had to go there. The minute I heard DW, it just popped in my head.
Monday, December 7th.
No more cartoons for me.
Monday, December 7th will be the John Lennon show on the Beatles Forever. We will pre-record that and get that out for airtime on Monday.
And also, if you're looking to donate, please donate to this station.
Always donate to this station, WTBRFM.com.
And if you're looking for another donation, think about the puppies and kitties at Berkshire Humane Society. Please give them a call, 413-447-7878, and let them know that you want to donate to their pet food pantry.
Right. And Western Mass Traffic Net, 1 and 4:30 p.m. on 146.910 with a PL of 162.2. The Heavy Hitters Traffic Net, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, hooked up to the Minuteman Repeater Network across the state at 146.910 at 10 p.m. So on behalf of Peter and Jesse and the crew here and my staff for Ham On, we will talk to you next week.